and welcome to my Game Week 27 team selection video. In this video, I'll be going over how my team got on in Game Week 26, my transfer plans, and of course, my team selection. Currently, my transfer plans hang in the balance of two players, one who may be injured and one who looks like he's fit and ready to go, but it's going to take a few tweaks and a -4 probably to bring him in. So there's a lot to discuss. Let's get straight into it. This is how the team got on in Game Week 26. So I had a very, very small red arrow. Unfortunately, I did take a -4 to go for Hwang. It was a very last minute decision. And obviously, I'm going to say I regret doing it. But at the time, it felt like the right thing to do for that Sheffield United fixture. I took out Richarlison and I'm a bit worried about that now, obviously, because of the blank Game Week 29. Looks like I will be free hitting for that game week, but Richarlison also may be injured. So it may just be kind of a like-for-like swap anyway. But I'm 1 point worse off by doing the transfer, so it's not the end of the world. I got a very, very small red arrow of about 4,000 places, so I got 54 points in total with the -4. My overall rank is at 382,000 and I've got 1,559 points in total. Going into this game week, I have one free transfer and 1.6 million in the bank. So let's start off with the goalkeepers. It's quite nice so far, even though my keepers aren't getting massive points, I am making the right decision. So Areola came away from this game with 2 points in total. Dubravka didn't play at all, so that's a bit of a concern with my goalkeeper rotation. But as long as we've got Areola, not getting clean sheets, but getting those 2 pointers, we're fine. We'll wait till the wild card to sort out the goalkeepers. And then in terms of my defence, a bit of a disappointing one. Estupinian again didn't play, and it's frustrating because he played the full 90, I think, in the Wolves fixture for the FA Cup. So that's one to watch. Not quite sure what De Zerbi's plan is with him. And then Saliba, unfortunately, again, Arsenal did lose the clean sheet. Newcastle were able to score a goal. Frustratingly, didn't come from Gordon, so I'm not interested in that goal whatsoever. It's just ruined my team dreams. But Saliba only got 2 points. And then Ake managed to keep a clean sheet, so he's holding all of my defenders together. And then we have got, obviously, Hee-chan. Very disappointing. There was nothing from him, unfortunately. I was really expecting, I think a brace was probably what I was hoping for and expecting. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Foden, I'm finally on the right side of Foden points. He scored, he got 3 bonus points, and he got the clean sheet points. So I got 11 in total with him. And then Saka just continues to impress. He scored a goal. He also came off before Arsenal conceded, so he managed to get the clean sheet point, and he also got 2 bonus, taking him to 10. Nothing from Gordon, which is disappointing. And then when we come to the front three, we'll carry on with the disappointment. Toney, I can't believe Bowen got a hat-trick in that game because I really thought that was going to be Toney. And I felt quite good in terms of my team because obviously Brentford was the last fixture of the game week. And I thought this is going to help me zoom up that rank. And unfortunately, he didn't. So I'm expecting big things from him for the home game against Chelsea that's coming up. Then Watkins, he's just amazing, isn't he? 1 goal, 1 assist. It's just what he does now. He's now the top scoring player in fantasy as well. So I did not expect that to be Ollie Watkins this season, but I'm very, very pleased that he's in my team. He was one of my favourites last year, so it's good to see that momentum is continuing. And then Haaland, I captained him. He got an assist, so we got an attacking return. We got 10 points in total. But again, just feels a bit disappointing. And when he scored 5 goals against Luton again in the Cup. So hopefully we can see him converting goals like that in the Premier League. And then in terms of the bench, Trippier is a really worrying one now. Came over 0 points. I made the right decision in benching him for that fixture. But I think obviously the double Newcastle defence is just not working for me at the moment. So that is one to also look at. Trippier I did bring in for the attacking returns, but we've just seen nothing in recent weeks. So I think he is one. I think he's about 6.9 million. Let me just check. 6.9 million, 41% ownership, but I'm not really getting that much from him and I can do a lot more with that money. So I think he'll have to go fairly soon. Then Palmer obviously didn't play and Pinnock is out. So let's get into my transfer plans, my transfer plans for the upcoming game week. Now, these are the two that are just controlling my team at the moment. First up, we've got Solanke. I really want to target that Burnley fixture. And then obviously, Bournemouth have got the double game week with Sheffield United and Luton at home, which is just the perfect run of fixtures, I think. Burnley, really, really poor team defensively. They've conceded the second most goals in the league with 58 in total, and Solanke can definitely take advantage of this. My concern is the knee injury. He went down in the City game but continued to play, and then he didn't feature at all in the FA Cup fixture this week against Leicester. So he's one to watch. watch. If he's fit, I think I'll do a straight transfer. I'll have to do Toney, Solanke, and we're done. He's on penalties. He's Bournemouth's talisman, and fitness dependent. He should be playing the full 90. He's played the full 90 the last, I think the whole season. But you can definitely guarantee that he's going to start. So I think he's a really, really good player to go for. He's only 7.1 million, ownership's at 24%, so it's climbing up there. Obviously, the temptation of those fixtures is too much for FPL managers to resist, but it's all very fitness dependent. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get some early team news on that. If not, I think it's time to think about bringing back Son. He is 9.6 million, so he is a bit more expensive. His ownership's so unbelievably low, obviously where he went off to the Asian Cup. It's only at 16.8%. That is definitely going to climb up in the next couple of game weeks. He's got an XG of 7.0 and expected assists of 4.8. The fact that he's on penalties, he's got the ability to play in that number 9 position, also at left wing. He's a really, really good asset to have. And I think James Maddison now being back and he's fit as well, they can team up. Spurs are going to be so attacking. Very, very healthy looking team at the moment. And they're also playing Palace at home this upcoming game week, which is also a very, very welcome fixture. So I really want to bring Son in, but it's very dependent on what's going on with Solanke. So here are some of the ways that I'll be able to, because obviously Son is a little bit more expensive. In terms of my midfield, I can't really do a straight swap. If people have De Bruyne, I'm so jealous because they can just do De Bruyne to Son and they're good to go. But here are some of the players that I'm looking at, sort of budget options to be able to facilitate that transfer. So first up, and I'm just going to butcher names here and I'm so sorry, but first up we have got Kivior. He replaced Zinchenko in game week 24 and since then he's been the top scoring defender for Arsenal. He's had a goal, an assist, 2 clean sheets and gained 23 points. He's super cheap. Sheffield United is a really nice fixture, one that I can definitely see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet in. So that'd be quite nice for me to have double clean sheets. Sheffield United have also failed to score in 3 of their last 4 matches. So I think this is a really, really nice one to target, and that 4.3 million price point, it'll be quite nice to have him on rotation with Saliba. I can play one of them each game week. Arsenal were just looking really strong and I probably wouldn't want to bench an Arsenal defender. But if I do need to bench one of them, at least I'm still covered by the other. So I really like him as an option. Next up, we have got Pascal Gross. This isn't really to facilitate anything. I just think he's been really good in recent game weeks, and I think you need to bring him in sooner rather than later, because after the blank in game week 29, the fixtures do take a bit of a turn. But he's 6.5 million, ownership's just under 10%, and they've got Fulham away coming up and then Nottingham Forest at home. Gross has been so consistent in recent game weeks. In the past 4 game weeks, he's had a goal, 4 assists and 11 bonus points. He's a really, really key figure this week as well, as Fulham aren't great at defending set pieces and Gross will be taking corners and free kicks. So if you're looking for a little punt or something, I think I would go for Gross. He's just a really, really nice pick. And then we have got Marcus Senesi, 4.5 million, only 4.3% ownership. I will flag before I get into this, he is on 8 yellow cards, so that is one to watch. But for a nice short-term punt again, I really, really like him. We can take advantage of those Bournemouth fixtures. He's also scored the most goals out of all defenders this season, with 3 in total, which I was really surprised about. But I think it's nice that you've got such a cheap asset. Defensively, they should be okay against those next 3 teams. And also you've got that potential for those attacking returns, hopefully another goal in the next 3. So they are the 3 that I'm looking at targeting. In terms of the Son transfer, it's going to be between my Bournemouth asset and my Arsenal asset. I'll have to think about it. I think I'm probably leaning slightly more towards going double Arsenal just because of the 8 yellow cards that are pending. But I do get an extra fixture. And now we will get to my team selection. Now, without any transfers, this is how I'm looking for the upcoming game week. I probably will just start, I'll probably risk starting Dubravka, but I don't know what the likelihood of him actually playing is. And then in defence, we've got Saliba. I'm going to take a risk on Trippier. The Wolves at home fixture, I think, should be a nice one for Newcastle. They are a lot stronger at home. And I'm a bit worried about Estupiñán's minutes, and I think I'd rather go for the Trippier for the full 90 rather than risking Estupiñán just coming on for a couple of minutes. And then I'm sticking with Ake in defence as well. A little bit concerned about rotation, but I'm hoping that Pep's just going to go full force for that Manchester United fixture and throw Ake in. If I could get an attacking return from him, that would be very, very welcome. And then in my midfield, selfishly, the Hwang injury had actually helped me with a benching headache, because initially I was going to bench Palmer, but had a very bad feeling about it. So now I've got Hwang on the bench, and then I'm going for Gordon. Can't go without him. Isak's also back, and I think Gordon's much better playing on the wing, so we should be able to get some attacking returns from him, and he has got that streak of just scoring every time he plays at home, so I'm fingers crossed that carries on. Foden, of course, is staying in the team. Saka, Sheffield United fixture should be a very, very good one. And then Palmer is playing because Hwang is injured. And then we've got Watkins up front, potentially Toney, depends on the Solanke news. And then Haaland. The captaincy is currently on Haaland. In terms of captaincy, there are so many options this week. So we'll start off with Saka. He's only 1 point behind Watkins with 13 goals and 8 assists this season. The Sheffield United fixture is definitely one to target, especially as Arsenal are on such a roll at the moment. If we look at Arsenal's recent results, 4-1, 5-0, 6-0, absolutely ridiculous. 3-1, Saka as well, just three double-digit hauls in a row, plus the 9 points, then 10 points in 22. He's absolutely incredible. So I am quite tempted to go for Saka, and I obviously it's with hindsight. I wish I'd have captained him previously, but I wasn't going to risk it. But Arsenal have scored 25 goals in their last 6 games, which is the most out of any team. In contrast, Sheffield United have conceded the most goals in the league with an expected goals conceded of 51.5. So I think Saka could be a very, very nice option there. The only thing that concerns me a bit with Arsenal is you don't know where the goals are going to come from. Saka has been very, very consistent, and he did have 2 game weeks in a row, the Burnley fixture and the West Ham fixture, where he did score 2 goals. So maybe this is the week that he gets a hat-trick. Hopefully, that would be very nice. And then I've also got Ollie Watkins to consider, the highest scoring player in the game, as I mentioned before, 14 goals and 15 assists so far this season, which is crazy. Villa have got a really, really nice fixture coming up against Luton, who have conceded 51 goals this season, and they've got the worst expected goals conceded in the league with 52.3. Villa, in contrast, have an XG of 49.89, which is the 4th highest in the league, and Watkins has got a goal involvement rate of 52%, so he could be a really, really nice captaincy shout for this one. He's had pretty good hauls in the last few game weeks. We've got 9 points, 13 points, disappointing week against Manchester United, but I wasn't too fussed because I didn't own him then, and then the week before against Sheffield United, 18 points. When they last played Luton, what was the result then? He only got 2 points. It was a 3-1 win, but very little Watkins, well, no Watkins involvement whatsoever. So maybe this is the week for him to change that and have a very, very good game against Luton. And then, of course, the captaincy is currently on Haaland. Probably going to stick with Haaland. But his stats are looking so good. And the cup game against Luton just showed what he's capable of. He's got a goal involvement rate of 51% in the games that he's played. And City have the 3rd highest XG in the league with 53.49. This is a very, very, juicy fixture. Manchester United versus Man City. So I can see it being full of goals this game week. But let's get to my transfers. So I either do a straight swap, which is easily done, and I'll do Toney to Solanke. I must say, where Toney has had a bit of a disappointing run recently since I transferred him in, he hasn't had a double-digit haul since game week 22. He's only had 1 so far since returning. And then obviously Brentford are coming off the back of 3 losses in a row. I can see them going full strength against Chelsea. And also you have to remember, it's a very tired Chelsea team. They played over 100 minutes against Liverpool, and they've played midweek. I'm not sure how strong they're going to be for this Brentford fixture. And it's a home fixture for Brentford, so they've got that on their side. But I could do, if Solanke is fit, I think I'll just go straight in, do Toney to Solanke, and then that leaves me with 2.7 million in the bank. If not, I think I'll restore Toney, and then I can upgrade Hwang, who is very, very unlikely to play, and then bring in Son, who is a long-term hold. Unfortunately, I've got minus 2.4 million in the bank. So then I'll do Trippier, and I will either go for my Arsenal defender, which gives me double Arsenal defence, and does screw me over for game week 29. Obviously, I'll probably have to use my free hit. Or I will go for Senesi, who I think is just he's quite a fun choice, and then that would give me no money remaining in the bank. But it's a nice option, but again, blanking game week 29, so basically committing me to that game week 29 free hit, because at the moment the team is looking very sparse. But at least Son is playing in 29, so if I suddenly have a change of heart, I can go ahead and bring him in. The only problem with bringing Son in is, again, I have that benching headache for this upcoming game week, and it will also be for a -4. So I think I probably would bench Palmer based on Chelsea being fairly tired and not necessarily playing at full strength. So that is the option. Do let me know in the comments what you think I should do. I'm very tempted. I think there is also the option that if we get the news that Solanke is out injured, I just wait and bide my time before bringing in Son, because I am pretty happy with this team, and I do think Toney could do some damage this game week. Maybe I could wait for Solanke for the double instead, but it's just that Burnley fixture is calling my name. But in terms of the team as it is, I'm not that fussed if I go into the game week with this. There is obviously the concern that Ake may be benched. But I've got a feeling, based on absolutely nothing, that he will play. And then the rest of the team, I think, looks quite strong, and the fixtures are nice as well. So it's not the end of the world if I do just roll a transfer, and then it gives me a bit more to go by for game week 28, a bit more information, and I'm not taking hits every 5 minutes, because I just keep taking hits and they're not paying off as it stands. So that is this week's team selection. Do let me know in the comments what you think of my team. And if you have any dilemmas, drop them down below and I'll try my best to answer them before the deadline. And the deadline is a little bit later this game week, I think. Let me double check before I give you news that isn't right. Yes, 1:30. So it is a later one this Saturday. So get those comments down there, get those questions, and I will go through and answer as many as I can. Also, to throw in that I have started channel memberships, which is very fun. I've now got a close friends story on Instagram, which is behind the scenes content, match reactions, all that kind of fun stuff. So if you would like to become a member, please do join, because we've got 2 members already, which is really nice. So thank you as well to my members, and I will see you in the next video.